Hello you excitable pigeons, and welcome to my gaming grab bag, where I grab a bunch of games and put them in my bag. What kind of bag? Who knows. Also, this will not be my slogan for every video. Okay, don't worry about that. Yeah, so basically this type of video is just something new I wanted to try. Honestly, I would love to record as much as I used to, but sadly I do not have the time. So this is my way of doing something just a little bit different, while also having a bit more variety of gameplay on the channel, which is quite tasty, right? Anyway, let's start the very first video with the best game of the bunch in this video, which is Pigface. As you can already see based on this video, it's incredibly violent, but it's fun, okay? That's the main thing. The gunplay is actually very satisfying, which it needs to be given the type of game it is. It's essentially you pick a mission, you have certain objectives, similar to like SWAT 4, however it's like the reverse of that. So instead of you saving people, you're going to outright kill your targets. Not like Hitman, there is no stealth really involved. You can if you like, but it won't last very long. Essentially the only stealth you can do is if you get like a silenced weapon and start just picking people off from long range. But this is much more about fast-paced action, get in, get out, and then on to the next contract. It reminds you a little bit of like Manhunt, for example, and it's just a very, very satisfying game. Like each level is very condensed, and they end pretty quickly, but as you play more and more, they do get quite challenging, so you have to think a little out of the box. And there's also multiple ways that you can go about each level instead of actually doing every single one the same. So you can try different guns, try different things, or maybe you can do like some special weapons ideas, like just set a few landmines, for example, set a few traps, and maybe just pick people off that way. But there is a lot of variety with this game, and it took me honestly by a real big surprise. I was expecting it to be like, okay, something I'll just try and then put down after an hour. I've played a lot more than that. This is a very, very fun game, and it's a very quick and easy game to play in between watching something, listening to a podcast, or just editing a video, for example. Up next, we have Deep Space 7, a little sci-fi survival horror game, which honestly, it looks a lot worse than it actually is. Don't get me wrong, it's not great, it's very mediocre, but there are some things which might want to keep you playing, and I'm not talking about the visuals. The gunplay is just solid. It's very much Unreal Unity based stuff, just cobbled together. The enemies, I'm sure you've seen them many, many places, but it does still have that overall survival horror vibe, which you would like from any of the more recent Resident Evil games or any of the recent indie horror games, because there's a lot of the over-the-shoulder type games. For example, like Killing Antidote, that is much better than this, but again, there's just a lot of similar games of this kind of genre, and if you're kind of waiting for that type of game to play, maybe give this one a go. It's pretty cheap, and I'm sure it would be on sale for even cheaper, so it might be worth giving a little try. Just don't expect too much from it. There's a lot of issues with it. The ragdolls are quite funny. There's a few bugs. There's a lot of codes which don't always go to places you think, and a lot of the area, which you can probably see already from the video, is quite cluttered. So you'll find yourself just walking into a bunch of boxes or being more than a little confused on where to go. A very common thing for these type of games when someone doesn't really plan out correctly what they need to do. Eyes of the ElderWood is an intriguing little game. It reminds me a lot of Clive Barker's Undying, which is what actually interested me in the first place to give it a little go. It still kind of has that feel, but it's much more slower paced. Obviously, the graphics are completely different as well. The same, like having spells in one hand, the weapon in the other, still carries over. But you have to use the spells yourself, like actually to enchant them by using your mouse cursor to do the correct emblem or symbol, whichever you want to call it, to actually use that spell. Now, it's fun in theory because you obviously get to do that enchantment yourself, so it feels like you're actually casting that spell. But as you can see here, like it took me ages to get the right spell. So I already know what it is because I have the ritual itself. You have the paper which says, oh, this is it, this is what you do. However, you have to be like almost perfect. Whether it is the timing or the shape, I genuinely don't know because there's no real feedback. It just kind of doesn't happen. So once you've actually learned that spell, I would love for you to be able to like quick slot it just to speed things up a lot, because it really put me off the game when I'm literally spending 5 minutes trying to do the same symbol even though I know what it is. So it'd be nice to have a little quick slot to be able to do it. Everything else with this game is really intriguing. Like, I like the long reload time, that's fine, it adds to the ambience, the feel. I like the slower paced movements, although the stamina gauge is frustratingly short. Like, it's almost to the point of not having any stamina, it doesn't matter. But maybe that's just to add a little bit of a getaway, but just, I hate stamina bars in general. If you can sprint, let the enemy sprint as well, that's absolutely fine, but it's just more frustration than anything. But the rest of the game really is just ruined by the fact that that main mechanic of the game is just very flawed. You just need to have that quick slot, or even a ritual wheel, that's fine. Like if you draw a circle and then you can just pick a slot or something, that would be great. But yeah, it's one of those things which is a bit infuriating. Also, like Eternal Darkness did it, where you have certain runes, you put them together and then you can quick slot. It's just so much easier and user friendly if you just do that. It doesn't add to the tension of an enemy coming close to you, it just is infuriating. And let's finish this video with the worst of the bunch by quite a long way. Radiant Exodus. A game just so dark that even in the cutscenes and things it tries to draw your attention to, you cannot see. You also cannot raise the quality of the game because it immediately crashes. So it is stuck on this almost 480p looking game, and it is just, even if the textures were even subpar in the game, the enemy design is just atrocious. The game loves to crash, the game loves to bore you to death, and the most fun I had was running into the NPCs who are running away from danger, because they like to bounce you around everywhere. The AI voice acting is hilarious, but not so fun enough that I wanted to deal with all the crashes to continue playing it. What an absolute travesty. Anyway, as always everybody, I thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this different type of video. There'll be more coming soon. Bye bye for now.